Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Minnesota State Park Hiking Club Trail Series. Today we traveled to Williams, Minnesota to take the hiking club trail at Zippel Bay State Park. Zippel Bay State Park was established in 1959 to provide lake access and recreational opportunities for citizens of the state. Its history goes back much further than that, as it is on Lake of the Woods, which is split between Canadian and U.S. territory. The territory was initially explored by Europeans in 1732, when it was noted that numerous tribes of Native Americans populated the area, including the Cree, Monosis, and Dakota tribes. The park gets its name from one of the first settlers to come and live here, Wilhelm Zippel, who chose to live right at the entrance to the bay. The park is set along the sandy beach shoreline of Lake of the Woods. This is an exciting feature of the park because it's almost like an ocean beach, with the sand, the waves, and evidence of crayfish. We spotted numerous claws dropped by birds along the beach, and I snapped a picture of one particularly large claw and sent it to a friend with the words, "Freshwater lobster." The beach extends almost 2 miles and brings you all the way up to a jetty that signifies the start of Zippel Bay. The water from the lake is always changing, dependent on the weather, with sometimes 3-foot-high waves crashing to times of near stillness. The lake is 55 miles wide at its widest, and at some spots in the northern section, over 150 feet deep. The wildlife at the park is varied, and as I've already mentioned, there are crayfish in abundance, as well as out by the entrance to the bay, numerous frogs that hopped and jumped along. The birds are also numerous, with the DNR website stating there are white pelicans, double-crested cormorants, 4 species of terns and herring, ring-billed, Franklin's, and Bonaparte's gulls. There are also osprey and bald eagles within the park, mink, coyote, black bear, fisher, otter, deer, and pine martens also grace the park. There is also the possibility to see or hear timber wolves due to its northern location. The hiking club trail starts at the beach picnic area of the state park. It's a great starting point as you immediately are out on the beach of Lake of the Woods. It's a fantastic looking beach with a sandy shore that has some overhanging trees that provide a bit of shade. There is also shells and driftwood strewn along the shore, and the first sight you see when you get on the beach is a long stretch of beach that goes out to a point. If you choose to walk closer to the water, obviously, there'll be less shade, but the more notable piece of information on this trail is a good section of it is beach sand. This can be more difficult to hike than in normal terrain, although it's sandy and there are numerous rocks and shells, and the trail ducks into the woods at the end of this stretch, so taking the hike barefoot or in sandals isn't advised. After the stretch of beach, just as the coastline starts to curve towards that point, the trail becomes a trail. Instead of a beach, you head into the nearby woods. The path is quite wide, and although you are in the woods, you aren't terribly far from the shore and will continue to hear the water crashing upon the shore on those windier days. The area in the woods will take you straight to the jetty, but there are several areas that open to the beach that will allow you to walk towards the jetty on the beach. I recommend taking the beach when heading towards the jetty and walking along the beach there. It's cool to watch the boats as they head into Zippel Bay as they approach the jetty, whereas if you took the beach on the way back, your back would be turned. You would still hear them, but you wouldn't be able to watch the boats coming in. Once you get to the jetty area, there's a picnic table and a lookout into the lane between the jetty and the bay. It's a nice place to rest before heading back, as you can watch the boats come into the bay or the frogs playing on the rocks along the shore. After that, you head back straight on the wooded path in the shade till you get to the beach that you originated at. My favorite part of the hike is the similarity to the beach. The lake is huge, so it looks like an ocean staring at it. The shells and honestly little crayfish claws that are littered on the beach really give it that ocean look. I knew it was just crayfish claws, but that didn't stop me from stooping down and examining every one I saw to make sure it wasn't a crab. I spent a lot of my youth at the beaches of New Hampshire and Maine, walking down the beach with my father to look at the tide pools, looking under rocks for crabs and other sea creatures. Now, I didn't see any crayfish in the water, just the evidence of them on the shore, but that didn't stop me from looking at the rocks over by the jetty for them. I only saw a plethora of frogs, but that was no less entertaining. Thank you for watching, and if you like this edition of the series, like and subscribe. Also, let us know which state park you'd like to see next.